guys. Alright, this is Mr. Kleber and this is our first science lesson in 2nd grade. Hope you're going to enjoy this right here in beautiful Ocean Beach, San Diego, California. And we're going to start looking at different types of rocks and minerals, all related to geology. And so there are 3 types of minerals and rocks in the world, and they are called metamorphic, alright, sedimentary, and then igneous. Igneous rocks are rocks that are born from volcanoes, and there's a lot of different types of igneous rocks in the world. We're going to look at 3 today. We're going to look at granite, scoria, and basalt. All 3 are found readily all over the earth, but also here in San Diego. And today we're going to look at granite. All right, right at this point. We're going to look across the way right here, and you'll see the big jetty. The jetty is made out of granite. It's taken from the island of Catalina. Catalina is right off the coast of Los Angeles, and it's a very different type of granite. You don't see it here, but you look across the way, you'll see it. It's kind of a bluish in color, so they call it blue granite. Granite comes in many, many different colors. As a matter of fact, let me go see if I can just find a little piece of blue granite to show you, all right? Here it is, piece of blue granite. Let's get started. Well, hey guys, this is Mr. Kleber. We're here at Torrey Pines State Beach. If you look that way, you can see the trains and the bridge, cliffs and stuff like that. This is all part of geology, and we're going to study this just a little bit, but we're talking more about our igneous rocks. One of the rocks that we're going to be looking at is a rock called scoria, and they actually use scoria just like they use the granite on the jetty. They use the scoria right here at Torrey Pines to help stabilize the rails on the train bed. So I'll pick up a rock for you. It's just a little piece of lava, huh? So, well, this is what scoria is. It's also called tuff, and this is one of the things that if you put it all together, it stabilizes because it's rough and it kind of locks in with each other. And so once it's locked in with each other, it doesn't wash away. When the train rolls over it, it doesn't shift and settle and stuff. It just kind of stays where it is. So it's a great rock for that. But this is one of our rocks we're talking about. This is scoria. All right, so here we are down at the south end of Torrey Pines State Beach. That first part, when we look down south, so all those big cliffs, these are them. And they're about 300 feet high, and there's different striations. This whole area was actually uplifted, pushed up from the bottom of the ocean. This at one time was actually thousands of feet below the ocean. And that Rose Canyon fault where you head up on the 5 freeway, right through those big canyons, that's the Rose Canyon fault. And that kind of pushed and lifted this up, and that's what we have today. So we have these brilliant beautiful sandstone cliffs, and there's all kinds of really cool stuff to look at. So this is just all part of geology. Alright, hey guys, Mr. Cleaver here again, and this whole area right here, this is down farther on the Black Speech side of Flat Rock, and this area right here, this is called basalt, and basalt is another igneous rock. It's a type of rock that comes from a volcano. So we've seen three types of igneous rock. We've seen scoria up by the train track, we saw basalt here, and we started off our day looking at granite up at Ocean Beach on the jetties right there. But you know, the earth is more than that. There's all kinds of rocks. There's metamorphic, there's, you know, sedimentary rocks. There's all kinds of rocks, and we're going to study all of them, but we have to remember that it's all just part of a big, huge, wonderful world that we live in. We got to take care of our planet, so do it. Alright, so here we are at the end of our day here, looking at rocks, looking at igneous rocks from volcanoes. And if you look at just beyond me here, this is a flat rock here at Torrey Pines State Beach, and we're going to head on over there in just a second. But part of your assignment today, guys, is going to be take one of these three rocks, the scoria, the basalt, or the granite, and tell a story about it. Make a story about a rock, and then you can fill it out on your seesaw lesson here. And if you tell that story, guess what? I'm going to go tell you a true story about flat rock. So let's go. Alright, so here we are at Flat Rock. You can see that this is a much different type of rock than that basalt area we saw just a little bit south. And a lot of people up top. But I'm here to tell you the story of Billy Bloodworth from Del Mar, California. Down here one day on a picnic with his sweetheart. And he was down here on a low tide just like it was today, and he thought he saw what they call a vein of coal leading out into the ocean. So he had an idea. He was from Welsh, he was from the British Isles. And back in Britain, they would drop a shaft, a mine shaft, straight down on the shoreline of the ocean in the rocks, and then tunnel out under the ocean to get to their minerals. So that's what Billy Bloodworth was going to do, and on top of here is that mine shaft that Billy and his brother started with. So I'm going to take you up there and see that right now. Alright, you guys, so this is it. This is the mine shaft that Billy Bloodworth decided to dig. It actually goes down about 15-20 feet, and he was very intent on finding that coal line that was out there in the ocean. It was low-grade coal. Coal was used to fire ships and to move trains around back in the day. This is the late 1800s, but as you can tell, it always go up to seawater and sand, so we kind of gave it up. That's what we have here today, Billy Bloodworth's story. Okay, you guys, so here we are, and this is your assignment. You're going to take one of these different rocks, different types of rocks, and you're going to write a little story about your rock. What is the most important thing about your rock? So we first looked at granite. We looked at granite down at the Ocean Beach Jetty, and in particular, we looked at blue granite. Granite comes in many different colors. Granite is formed inside the volcano as the lava cools under the surface of the earth. And the mixture of the 5 different minerals that create a piece of granite gives it its color. But most granite is formed by feldspar and quartz. We also looked at what we call scoria. Scoria is basically a lava rock. It has little holes in it, and you can see closely how the little holes are formed on this rock. And what happens is that a piece of lava is ejected or thrown out from the volcano, and as the outside of the rock cools, the inside of the rock has air or gas trapped inside, and that air and gas escapes through the outside, and that air or gas creates the little holes. The next thing that we looked at down at the south end of Torrey Pines Beach was basalt. And basalt is another volcanic or igneous rock. An important thing to know about basalt is that it is formed from the flow itself. It is not ejected from the volcano. It is formed from the flow, and as it comes out, it hardens, and there is no gas trapped inside. Therefore, the holes in a basalt rock are very small or non-existent. So, the basalt is formed from the flow. The scoria is formed from the ejection of a piece of lava from the volcano through a blast. And the granite is formed inside the volcano as the lava inside the volcano cools and creates its mixture of minerals to give us these wonderful colors and all of these igneous rocks.